Y'all, it's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV, back at y'all with some NBA basketball news. So Shams reported last night that the Boston Celtics have traded Jrue Holiday to the Portland Trail Blazers for Anfernee Simons and 2 second-round picks. The fact that a major trade like this happened less than 2 days after the NBA Finals, this is why I love the NBA, man. Shout out to Brad Stevens, man. Brad Stevens is doing everything that Pat Riley isn't doing. And it just goes to show that when you have guys in positions like Brad Stevens and Pat Riley, you want to get a guy that's young, that understands the game, that's not stuck in his old ways, because this is how you continue to have your team compete for championships, right? This is a huge upgrade for the Boston Celtics because, number one, they're going to be saving money. Anfernee Simons, his contract is less than Jrue Holiday's, plus his contract is almost up, so they're saving money. And plus, Jrue Holiday is 35 years old. Anfernee Simons is 26 years old. Simons averages more points per game than Jrue Holiday, and you're going to need that extra scoring because, remember, Jason Tatum tore his Achilles in the playoffs against the Knicks, and he most likely will miss the entire next season of the NBA. So you're bringing in a guy that's 26 years old. He averages 19 points per game. The year prior, he averaged 22 points per game. He gets about 5 assists a game, 2.7 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? He has a 42% field goal percentage, and he's a decent three-point shooter, right? He's not the best three-point shooter. He shoots about 36% from the three, but he can knock down threes. It's not like he's a Russell Westbrook type of three-point shooter. But listen, man, we all saw this coming. Jrue Holiday, he's getting older. He's no longer one of the best defenders in the NBA. And he could have scored more points per game with Jason Tatum being out, but you just can't depend on a guy that's 35 to fill that spot of a youthful guy like Jason Tatum, right? Now, I don't think that this is the only move Boston is going to make. I also can see Boston trading Kristaps Porzingis. And if I'm Boston, if I'm Brad Stevens, you kind of have to trade Porzingis because he's a big part of the reason why you lost that series against the Knicks. He missed a shit ton of games in the playoffs due to an illness that Porzingis claims that he doesn't know this illness that he has, right? Porzingis, you're in America, you're a multi-millionaire. How the hell do you not know what kind of illness you got, right? Now, the head coach of the Celtics, he said that he does know what the illness is, right? So maybe this is a situation where Porzingis is embarrassed and he doesn't want to tell people what's going on. I've heard some people say that it's after effects of COVID. Some people said it's pneumonia. I've heard all type of theories. But the point is, man, you can't take the risk of keeping this guy on the team because this is an illness that has lingered on for months, right? And if this lingers on to this next season and you have this guy not playing because he's saying that he can't breathe and he's tired and he has no energy, it's a waste of money, man. So I'm expecting Kristaps Porzingis to get traded next. Now, I'm also hearing a lot of rumors from credible sources that Jaylen Brown potentially could get traded from the Boston Celtics. And I think that'll be the worst decision that Boston can make, right? I understand that Boston needs to save money, but you can't get rid of your best player on your team, right? Now, Jason Tatum is the best scorer on the Celtics, but Jaylen Brown is the best player on the Celtics, right? And Derek White, you can't trade Derek White, bro. Derek White, in my opinion, is the best third option in the NBA next to, what's homeboy's name from the Lakers? Austin Reeves, right? Derek White, now that Jason Tatum isn't going to be playing this season, you're going to need Derek White to give you some 20, 25, 30-point games. You're going to need that, right? Derek White, he can shoot threes. He can get to the paint. Derek White is a beast, bruh. I think Derek White has the potential to be a superstar in the league. If he wasn't on a team like the Celtics where he was playing with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I think he would be considered an all-star and eventually a superstar, right? And I think that this is the year where Derek White can prove that he can be an all-star in today's NBA, right? So I really hope Boston doesn't trade Derek White. I hope they don't trade Jaylen Brown. I know they got to save money, but at the end of the day, man, you don't want to destroy your team and you don't want to stop your team from winning more championships, right? Because we all know when players get this Achilles tear, sometimes they're not the same. Now, luckily, Jason Tatum is young. I think Jason Tatum is only 27 years old, 26, 27. He's still young, so he should be able to come back and bounce back. We've seen guys like Kevin Durant tear his Achilles in his 30s and he came back and was the same player, but it's not guaranteed, right? You don't know what Jason Tatum is going to look like after next season when he eventually comes back. You don't know if he's going to be the same. It may take him some time to get back in this rhythm. He may not look like the same Jason Tatum until after the All-Star break. So you don't want to get rid of too much of your weapons that you have, right? Get rid of Porzingis, keep Derek White, see how they play together. Now, if the team struggles and Derek White is underperforming, then you trade Derek White, right? But I don't think there's no need to rush and just unload the clip and just make moves that you're gonna regret making. You understand what I'm saying? So shout out to Brad Stevens for this trade. Like I said, I think this is a huge upgrade. You're getting a player that's younger. Like I said, Jrue Holiday was 35. Anfernee Simons is 26. He averages more points per game than Jrue Holiday. The only negative thing about this trade is Anfernee Simons doesn't play defense half as good as Jrue Holiday, right? That's the only critique I have of this trade, but I think Boston won this trade. And if you're Portland, right, why would Portland do this? Like, seriously, if you're the Portland Trailblazers, why would you make a decision like this? This had to have been Chauncey Billups that agreed to this, because, I mean, why would you trade your young guy, right, for an older guy, right? It's not like the Trailblazers are competing for a championship, right? They're not a playoff team. You know, they have a lot of young players. They will get better as time goes by. But I can see a scenario where Portland ends up just, letting Jrue walk away, or they end up trading Jrue Holiday again to a contender. Because like I said, man, the Portland Trailblazers, they're not contenders. And I just don't see why you would bring in a guy this old with a big contract. I think Jrue Holiday still has 2 or 3 more years left on this contract. And it's a lot of money, man. So let me know what you guys think about this. It's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV. I'm out.